Good morning, everyone. My name is Rabbi Lesser, Director of Pastoral Care here at Gurwin Jewish. I hope everyone had a wonderful week as we continue our virtual Oneg Shabbat. And we had some interesting weather this week. One day sunny, one day snowy. That usually happens in the month of March, but it's a nice day today, and we hope everyone enjoys the Oneg Shabbat and their weekend ahead of them. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashoretz, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Mahalchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashoretz, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashoretz, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malchei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This week, we start the book of Vayikra, the book of Leviticus, which deals primarily with the different sacrifices that the Jewish people brought in the temple, both in the times they were in the desert, the 40 years in the desert, and also in future years in Israel with the Beit HaMikdash, the first and the second temples in Jerusalem. And the concept of sacrifices is something which is very unusual, because From the outsider, it seems we're taking animals, slaughtering them, bringing them up on an altar to burn them. And what exactly are we supposed to be accomplishing by doing this? Some sacrifices are brought for sins which are made. Some sacrifices are brought for giving thanks to God when something good happens to us. And some sacrifices are for times of the years, Rosh Chodesh, holidays, daily sacrifices, weekly sacrifices, Shabbat sacrifices as well. And with all these sacrifices, how does a person really appreciate or understand the purpose of them? God certainly doesn't need our sacrifices. And the answer which many commentators have given is really the word sacrifice in Hebrew, karbon, comes from the root of karav, to get close. That somehow through these sacrifices we get close. An explanation given is the following, that at the end of the day, sacrifices primarily come from our own money. Either our own animals, we buy animals, we purchase animals, the community collects money for animals. These are things which are bought by ourselves as individuals. And we know money to us is meaningful, sometimes a little more meaningful than it should be, but money is something that we have, we earn, and when we give money to God, for the service of God, it's like we're giving part of ourselves. We're deciding, you know what? Some of my wealth, it's not enough for myself. I have to give it to others, and which is hard. We know how hard it is to give charity, even when there's a good cause. But it's still difficult to give charity. And this charity we're giving for one purpose alone. Not to help anyone, not to save anyone, just to create and continue the relationship with God. So that's how a sacrifice brings us closer. We say to God, we're taking something of ours that we earned, we worked hard, we're giving it over just for you to realize and recognize that you are part of our life and you are part of the relationship that we want to have.
Chadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela shamoy v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmi yahanu kel hamyuchad Hashem echad u'shma echad l'shem ol sefer ez v'lesila Chadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela Lekra Shabbos Chuvin Helcha Ki Mekar Habiracha Meirash Mikedem Nesucha Sav Ma'aseh B'machshavat Chila Lecha Dodi Lekras Kala Pnei Shabbos Nekabela Mikdash Melech Ir Melucha Kumiti Mitocha Hafecha Rav Lach Sheves B'mekabacha V'yachamol Alayichem La Chadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela Hisnari meyafar kumi Livshi bigdei sefar techami Al yar ben yishai beis halachmi Karva el nafshigi Yahala lechadodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela hisoriri Kiva hoire kumi yori shir daberi Kavod Hashem alayich nigla lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela lo se v'oshiv lo sikami Mahatesh lochachi umatemim bahag yakzu aniyei ami v'nivniso Irauti la lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Yamin usmal dehifroti v'yez Hashem dahariti Al yar ben yishai beis halachmi Garvo el nafshigi ala lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Bawi b'shalom Ateres bala Gam berina uvetzahala Tochem uneyam segula Bawi kala Bawi kahala Lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela. This week as well, we have the special reading of Parshat Zachor. We remember the atrocities that were done by the nation of Amalek, the evil nation when the Jews left Egypt. When the Jews left Egypt, the Jews were on a spiritual high. The entire world knew about their departure from Egypt, how God, the God of the Jews, Hashem, had destroyed the Egyptian empire just for the sake of the Jews. The entire world heard about the splitting of the sea, the great miracles that occurred, and everyone at that time, maybe the only time in history, all nations of the world respected the Jewish people and respected our God Hashem. And yet there was one nation that said, you know what, we don't really care. We don't care that God did miracles for them. We don't care that they may be the chosen people. We're going to fight them, even though we know we're going to lose. And this is a terrible, terrible crime, and the nation was known as Amalek, nation of Amalekis, and they fought the Jewish people in a tough battle, and they lost. But they didn't really care. The fact that they were able to fight the Jews for no reason, they weren't fighting over land, they weren't fighting over peace, they just fought. Just because. Was seen as a terrible, terrible atrocity. And it led room for other nations to say, well, if they could fight the Jewish people, we could fight them too. As a parable is given to having a hot pot of water, and one person throws in one ice cube to start, even though the ice cube doesn't really cool off the pot that much, but just the concept of cooling off the water, trying to cool off the water. Now other nations also, for many years, have suppressed us and hurt us, solely because they look at this first nation and say, if they could do it, we can too. So this Shabbat, before Purim, as we know, Haman, Harasha, the evil Haman, Haman, came from this nation, came from this tribe of Amalek. We remember the crime, the atrocity that the tribe of Amalek did on the Jewish people. And the lesson we learn from here is that we should do things in life which are meaningful, which are important. But we should not do things in life for no reason, just to start up, just to cause trouble. If someone's bothering you, someone's causing you a little bit of anguish, it's okay to speak up against them. It's okay to stand up for yourself. But only stand up for yourself if there's a real, true meaning behind it, a real purpose behind it. To cause problems for no reason, that's not the proper way to live. Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra li'es nasa b'chevso kol azai melech shemo nikra v'yacharei keklos hakol Levahada yimlach nara v'aya v'hoveh v'yiyeh b'sifara v'hovechad v'yein sheni L'hamshila l'hachvira v'lireishis v'lisachlis v'loha'oz v'hamisra v'hukeli v'chai go'ali v'tzorchev li b'yeis nasa v'unisi umanosli minas kosi b'yom ekra b'yahado afkid ruchi v'yeis ishan v'yahira v'yim ruchi g'v'yasin ado shem li v'lo ira. Everyone have a happy and healthy Shabbat, a great weekend. We'll see everybody next week.